Slow poker.
I have a career and a family, but also play poker, which doesn't leave me much time, so let's get to it. T-minus 1 day till the Poker Vlogger Showdown, and just to give you a teaser, I might mix it up with either of two rookie vloggers named Andy and Bradford, the latter of whom is already gaining quite a bit of notoriety for his patented move, the viciously intimidating right-hand wave. But is he ready for the slow poker creepy dead-eye stare? Subscribe to find out. In the meantime, I've got ace-queen in the small blind, and not one,
not two, not three,
but 4 players limp. I raised to 30 with hopes of thinning the field, and not one,
not two, not three,
but 4 players call. And sometimes I wonder why I bother. The red chip poker people suggest a raise to 60, which would probably take down the dead money, or get me heads up. But it's my first hand of the day, and I'm just getting my feet wet. And sometimes when I raise with ace-queen, I flop okay. And that could happen again. Sure, a glass half-empty type would argue that since the only folding limper had a queen, quads may be unlikely, but my glass is half full. Now it's half empty. And while I do have the gut shot straight draw and the backdoor nut flush draw, and I would c-bet if I were heads up or 3 ways, when it's 5 ways and I'm first to act, a bluff here is just not getting through. So I check, and it checks around. This turn gives me, give or take, 6,000 outs. And after I check, big blind bets 40, cutoff calls, and I call. I would just love a spade or a king, or you know what, I think even a queen or an ace might be good here. So let's win this thing, or lose this thing. Big blind shoves, I fold. Big blind admits he only had ace high, so it sounds like I may have folded the winner. And I'm slightly irritated that I just lost a quarter of my stack, but let's verify my exact emotional status. Okay, I'm at the steamed broccoli level. That's not so bad. At least it's healthy.
Ho ho ho.
High fiber! I've got ace-king, and facing a UTG limp, I raise to 20, and get called by the hijack, small blind, and limper. After an ace-high flop and 2 checks, I bet 45, and both small blind and limper call. On this turn, small blind just jams. This makes almost no sense. A straight or 2 got there, and some random 2-pair combos. But whatever he's got, why is he donk shoving? Regardless, this guy's been luckboxing his way into win after win, and while I'm still perplexed by his tactics, I'm pretty sure he's got me beat, so enjoy these folded cards. And he shows that his luckbox ways are still in full effect. But we're not quite done here, because UTG limp caller had pocket queens. Buddy, why are you limp calling with queens? And on that flop, why are 2 underpairs calling half pot when I clearly have an ace? There are several ways this hand could have gone down, but that way? Just now? Not on the list. And while it's absurd that small blind called my flop bet, it's far more absurd that after he turned one of his miracle cards, he lead shoved. So sure, I'm grateful for the second part of his misplay, but I'm still pretty steamed. How steamed, you ask? Oh no, I'm 1980s carpet cleaner ad steamed?
Cleans whole room so deep, so fast, makes rental cleaners a thing of the past. For less than you ever thought you'd pay, clean your carpets the easy way. The Regina Steamer Carpet Cleaner.
This could get ugly. I've got ace-jack in a straddled pot, raised to 30, and the lookbox defends the straddle. On a jack-high flop, he checks, I bet 25, and he calls. This turn shouldn't be too scary since I've got the ace of hearts. And while he does do that trappy quick check move, I still bet 45. And here comes the min click. Now I put him on a middling flush, where he's giving me a great price to either outflush him or boat up. So I call. On this blank river, he lead shoves again. Alright, let's just get the obvious out of the way. This is a fold. That's all. No 2 ways about it. On the turn, I put him on some flush, and he still has some flush. And I didn't improve, so I should fold. But the steamed broccoli steam and the steam cleaner steam start clouding my brain and proposing all sorts of counterarguments, such as, there's not much left in my stack. It's a good price to bluff catch. This isn't a bluff. He still has the flush. You've got nothing to catch. I have blockers to both top boat and the nut flush. He already shoved. That's irrelevant now. Excuse me, I think you mean Jack 7? Just because you're a stickler for linguistics doesn't mean you'll win the hand. And hey, self, stop pitnicking. I'm so angry. Calling won't help that. And despite the obvious irrationality of those reasons, the steam is just too steamy.
A call. You got it?
Suffice it to say, I am displeased. Across the board, that was terrible. I'm 5% upset at his slow roll and 5% upset that he keeps getting there, but 90% of my anger is toward myself for making a truly awful river call. And while outwardly, at the table, there's only one feeling to convey.
Nice hand.
My real feeling is on the inside, and that feeling is... Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be low selfa. What's that? Oh, I think you know where I'm going with this. Low self-esteem. Okay, don't you do that. Don't rub it in. I'm already furious about the bad river call, and now I'm doubly furious that I didn't have the discipline to fold that terrible pun. This is what rock bottom looks like. All the way at the bottom. Real low. Like low self-esteem low. How do you manage tilt like a professional? Fuck you. Now that I've let off a little steam, I buy back in, reborn, with a promise to myself to play better. And my rebirth begins with ace-10 of clubs in the cutoff. After one limp, I raise to 20, and the limper can't help himself.
You playing?
I'm playing a hand.
Really? I'm never playing this.
This happens often. People watch me fold almost everything pre-flop, and then they have to limp call with trash. It's like there's a solar eclipse and they don't have those special glasses, but they have to stare right at it because it's so rare. On this flop, after limper checks, I c-bet 25 with nothing but range advantage and a dream, and he calls. I turn the ace, but he could have a flush or some random 2-pair, so I check back. And after this river and a check, I'll take my showdown value. Look, I've got a long way to go before I can even think about recouping my losses, but a win is a win. Baby steps.
Baby step? Is mom having a baby?
Get out.
No,
Wait.
is mom having a baby?
Wait, is mom having a baby?
I said get out. I've got kings, raised to 30 over a straddle, and a new player at the table, free bets to 90. But it's not just any player, it's fellow poker vlogger Branzten. Now, normally facing a free bet while I've got kings is the dream spot, but this is different because Branzten has seen my videos, including my epic episode 6 fold. After carefully weighing all these factors, it's time to make a decision. I take a deep breath, take a good hard look, and say goodbye. I just folded kings preflop and was right. Branzten knows my range is tighter than tight, and if he's 3-betting me, he's only got one hand and one hand only, and that's pocket aces. And while it truly pains me, I know when I'm behind. Alright, calm down. Don't unsubscribe. I'm kidding.
All in.
All in.
And while I'd rather have stacked the pocket sixes luck box instead of my brother from another vlog mother, I really needed this one. But don't cry for Branzten. Tomorrow he'll bluff me off the best hand at least a couple times, so he could even be ahead of me at this point. And I mean, it's not like we're keeping score. I've got ducks, and after 4 limps, I check. And the flop brings back memories of this family trip when I was a kid where we took a tour of Boston on this amphibious vehicle and got to see all the sights on the water and on land, and they give you these little plastic whistles that made duck sounds. It was so fun. They're called duck boats. I flopped a duck boat. Yeah, that was a long walk. Small blind checks, I check. UTG bets 15, UTG1 calls. One of these two has to have a jack and is never getting away, so I sweeten the pot with just a soupçon of duck sauce. But they both fold. And maybe I'll use this money for another duck boat tour to see if Boston is still just as lovely. I could also stay home. I've got 9s, raise over a straddle to 30, and get not 1,
Not 2, not 3.
but 4 callers. Again, sometimes I don't know why I bother. Oh, you know what? It's no bother. After 2 checks, UTG ships his last 87. And while I'm certainly a fan of 87 free dollars, that almost definitely killed my action. If I raise here, everyone folds. But even just a call, and I'm pretty sure the money train stops there. Since this flop is drier than dry, I flat call. Already sad about the inevitable fold. But the button calls, and I am stumped. What could he have? Unlikely he's got a 9, so I'll scratch that off. And let's assume he's not calling 30 pre-flop with 4 deuce or 6-4. So then I wonder, is this set over set? If he has pocket 3s or pocket 5s, maybe he feels like I feel, where he isn't worried about much on this dry flop, and assumes I've got an overpair, and he might as well trap. It's an okay theory, but to be honest, I have no idea. This turn only completes gut shot draws, so I'd like to think I'm still way ahead, and bet 100, which could be too low or too high because I still have no clue what I'm up against. But he quickly calls, and I just can't figure this out. This river is a relief, unless, of course, I was right about pocket 5s. But if it's quads, it's quads.
I'm all in.
And when Button shows his cards, I'm still confused why he called flop, but I also can't help but crunch the numbers. If Button had won that hand with a 3% shot on that flop, I'm pretty sure I'd be steamed. How steamed? Like the saying goes, I'd be as mad as a mouse on a boat. And that'll do it for episode 11 of Slow Poker. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. All of that really helps the channel. And if you want to buy merch, buy merch. But please, never ask me for the steam puns I didn't include. Lacrosse team? Come on. Until next time, this has been
Slow Poker.
Why do you